these issues?
Okay, we are having challenges in keeping out these problems because of one, political will. Lack of political will. When I say political will, I'm not necessarily trying to attack various governments that have governed the nation, no, but political will starting from the government down to the man in the village. You know, government has got quite a lot of programs that are indeed doing to conserve environment. But you may find out that the man down in the village is not assimilating the information that is trickling down to the man on how he can care for the environment. So political will down in the village, starting from our gatekeepers in the village, starting from up to law enforcers, up to government and the like, even development partners, all of these, they lack political will. That you can even agree with me that we have this problem of environmental degradation. But can you do a thorough research to say how much money is channeled into these areas to curb these problems? You will find out that even donor partners, they are indeed becoming so stingy in trying to give or to provide resources for that issue. And this is an indicator that the political will is a problem. Secondly, you talk about education levels. Malawians, most of these Malawians, they have low levels of education. And definitely, if people have low levels of education, definitely they become resistant to change. Even if you go there, you tell them what to do, they push it aside and proceed with what they believe in. So education is very important. That is why we are talking that civic education, awareness, all these are really very important tools in as far as environmental conservation is all about. Thirdly, we do meet several challenges to curb these problems because, you know, we have high forces that are attacking the environment. And the high forces are coming from the high population growth rate that Malawi is having. You are going to be hearing this population growth being mentioned now and again because it's the root cause of all these problems. You know, in 1980, 1970 something, we were just very few, or they were just very few. And if you look at ground cover, vegetation cover that time, there was a lot of trees, a lot of grasses, a lot of clean waters, a lot of virgin land, simply because the population was low. But now, because population is just very high, definitely we are invading the land, we are invading the forests, we are invading the waters. You can see these days people are getting into the river to cultivate, into the rivers to cultivate, just because they have nowhere to get the land, arable land for cultivation. This is an outcome or a product of high population growth. So because of this, we are having indeed challenges to curb those problems. And another area that we need to know is we have, a problem, or we have problems when it comes to have an alternative source of energy in Malawi. Of course, we can talk about electricity. Electricity is now becoming stable with this government in power as of now. As you can see, the blackouts have been minimized compared to the past. And Malawi is also doing better compared to other countries like Zambia, where they are spending several hours in blackout. Malawi is not of that nature these days. However, I'm talking about gas. Gas is another best alternative of heat source because it is easy, smart, and clean, and can provide a rescue to the environmental attack. As such, we are trying to say if government put a deliberate effort on gas as an alternative source of heat, definitely we can also try our best to curb these challenges that we have mentioned. In this case, I'm talking about gas as gas cooking. We can use gas for cooking in our household. And definitely the gas can be available, but maybe appliances that use the gas. As such, we also lobbying with the same government to make sure that gas must be available, and at the same time, appliances that may use gas, like gas cookers, must be available at lower or subsidized what? Prices, so that they should indeed rescue our environment.
Maybe I should just interrupt you a bit. Let's not dive in too much pertaining to issues to do with other alternative sources of energy, because we are going to tackle that issue later in the program. Maybe just shifting now our focus to narrowing it down to forest degradation, because a report by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, has indicated that forest degradation as a result of deforestation has been the major challenge in our country's environmental conservation drive, because deforestation is very serious in this country. Maybe how serious is the issue to do with deforestation in this country, and has this country failed to check deforestation, and what impact has deforestation had on this country?
But we have to take note that environmental degradation is one, or forest degradation is one of components in environmental degradation. Remember, environment is everything that surrounds us. We talk about trees as deforestation or as forest degradation. We also have land degradation, soil degradation, water contamination, air pollution. All those are indeed great problems that Malawians are facing these days. Now, in forest degradation is a very and huge problem in Malawi indeed. JICA has put it so rightly, and I've gone through that position paper that they have just produced. In Malawi, we cannot talk about forest degradation. We cannot talk about environmental degradation without talking about forest degradation. Why? Because this issue is very huge and is being exacerbated by the population growth. Why? Because in every year, we are losing quite a lot of hectares of land which was covered by forests.
Yes, because I understand that we are losing almost 33,000 hectares of land annually.
Forgot the actual figure, but what I know is a lot of land, a lot of hectares is being lost. Is being converted from forest cover to agriculture land for production of produce. And this is being exacerbated by the high population growth that we are having. Therefore, we have to appreciate the need for Malawians to be exposed to other sources of income. This is very important. Why? Because most Malawians, of course, they believe that if somebody is to be self-reliant, must venture into farming, agricultural farming. Yes, of course. But indeed, we have others that are educated and are employed. So we have to accept that government, development partners, and others must do great in providing the alternative livelihoods. For example, employment, business, and others, so that we should indeed rescue our virgin land from being converted to agricultural land.
So maybe what impact has deforestation had over the years to the country's environment?
Deforestation has brought quite a lot of impact on Malawians and even Malawi as the nation. For example, we are talking about resource depletion. resource depletion, in this case, we are talking about timber. Timber is now becoming a problem because much of the land has been converted, much of the forests have been converted into agricultural land. We talk about lack of fruits. In the past, we used to have to enjoy natural fruits like mijinka, guavas, you talk about namarijejes, all those very good mburumbunjes, very good fruits, natural fruits that people could just get into the bush and enjoy those fruits and then enjoy the life. But these days we don't have. So due to the degradation of these forests, we are having nothing like those good fruits. And at the same time, we are exerting negative impacts to animals. You know, in the past we could enjoy snakes all over, but these days, when you see a snake, then it means you have maybe gone into a thick forest or somewhere else. But around the home these days, animals like snakes and the like are not there. So it's like we have indeed exerted unnecessary pressure on other living organisms like snakes. Another impact is that we have contributed to high levels of pollution. You know, you have to appreciate that trees play a very important role in providing oxygen and removing this particular carbon dioxide. Now, because they are being reduced, we should indeed appreciate that their reduction is contributing to high levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, leading to global warming. So global warming affects the rainfall patterns and therefore bring about climate change. This is a very huge problem that Malawi and as a nation is facing, and of course not only Malawi, even other countries. So we are saying the reduction in forest cover is bringing quite a lot of pollution in the air, is bringing a lot of increase in heat, leading to global warming, reduction in rainfall at some point. We should also appreciate that trees do keep or hold soil particles together using their roots. Now, if we are removing, if we are clearing, if we are degrading the forest, it's like we are keeping or we are putting the soil on bare ground. We are leaving the soil bare. When the rains come, definitely they do sweep, they do carry the soils with them to the rivers. And this leads to high levels of soil erosion. And in the same place, we have also to know that because of this soil erosion, the rivers are being silted. They are becoming shallow. They are disturbing the habitats of animals that live in the rivers because of forest degradation. We also need to know that because trees are being cleared, there is some sort of outbreak of diseases in these localities. Why? Because when the trees are being cleared, the environment is changing. Some of these changes are bringing favorable conditions for outbreak of pathogens. And definitely these pathogens, they are attacking animals, they are attacking plants, they are attacking people, thereby trying to bring unfavorable conditions for the people, for the animals, for the plants to enjoy. Finally, the degradation of forests are bringing quite a lot of ozone layer degradation. Why ozone layer? It's because the increase in carbon dioxide is contributing to increase in greenhouse gases. So those greenhouse gases, they react with the ozone, thereby making the ozone layer to have some pores. And those pores, they make ozone layer fail to filter the light from the sun. And those sun, they are very strong. We talk of gamma rays, we talk of alpha, beta rays. When they are not filtered by ozone layer and reach the ground, definitely they may hit us and cause a lot of diseases. We talk of cancer. Some of these cancers are coming in because of the strong rays that are coming from the sun because they are not filtered by ozone layer. Of course, it's a story of another day on how ozone layer bring about cancer in the future. Thank you.
In case you're just joining us, this is the iTalk podcast with me, your host, Benjamin Kafwirangachi Nyirenda.